Lo coloco por acá, sí. 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 Lo coloco por acá, sí.
Hello, hello, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello. I say good morning because it's morning here, but it's not morning in London and elsewhere. It's probably the afternoon. So I say good morning, good afternoon. I'm actually having my breakfast here. I'm in a cafe here in Panama City. Can you believe it? Yes. I've been trying to stream since Friday, and I've gone to so many different places. And for some reason, here in the coffee shops, they limit the upload speed, and I wasn't getting good enough upload speeds to stream without any buffering or any packet loss. I found the place, and even though I'm going back to El Salvador tomorrow, I was thinking I should do it tomorrow in El Salvador, and then I found the place this morning, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stream. Fuck it, let's stream. Oh fuck, now I'm getting a message. I hope this doesn't buckle. What's that message say? Oh, I hate YouTube sometimes. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Well, if you see any problems, let me know in chat. But at the moment, it looks okay. I have a few drop frames, but it looks okay. I don't know why I got that message though. Anyway, if you see any problems, let me know in chat. There's a few people watching, so nice of you guys to join me. I'm still gonna have a spoonful of my breakfast. I just got a private message from my friend Eliane. She said everything is okay. Oh my god, you're watching on TV as well. Crazy. You must be at home. Nice closet. That's so funny. You're so funny. Funny. Eliane's my friend I met in El Salvador, and she's in Maastricht watching me on how many inches is that TV? Looks like 40 inches. Nice. That's perfect. Do you know what I'm gonna do? Packet loss? Am I getting packet loss? Shit. Oh no. It's a nightmare. I'm getting packet loss. Okay. I think I'm getting a bit of packet loss. This is so annoying. Like this is the problem I was having before. It looks like the stream is back to health. Thing again. Oh god. What can I do? Is it not meant to be? Yeah. Is the universe just telling me don't stream? I don't know. It's so annoying. Yeah. Thanks for the update, Elian. Look at this. I'm gonna paste it on Look, this is what I have to deal with. Oh fuck. See that? 65%. Right. All right, I'm tethering off my phone now. I don't know if this is going to cost me a fortune, but hopefully the internet speed should be back to full strength. I can see green bars. So this is how it was before. And this is how it is now. See that? Got a little bit of health. I'm not getting any dropped frames now. Let me know if that works. Is everyone is everyone okay? Can everyone see me? Hear me? All right, hopefully it should be okay now. Huh? Look. So now I'm tethering off my phone. I can't trust the internet here. You see these, it should be 4 green bars and it should be at about 10 megabits. And I should have very low or 0 dropped frames. See that? What do you think? All right, amazing. I've got the thumbs up from Elian. Let's get rid of this shit now. Let's just get straight into it because I don't want to use up all the bandwidth for my phone. All right, I'm going to go over Bitcoin first. Then I'm going to look at QANX, and then I'm going to look at TRVL. So the title of my stream on Friday was Bitcoin rejects some all-time highs. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Let's just get rid of these. Is this the right chart? Yeah. So, all right, let's just see what I was looking at before. So the last time I streamed was not last Friday, which was when I was scheduled to stream, but the previous Friday. And I had some ideas for the price action of Bitcoin. And let me pull those ideas up. So what was that? Not that one. So I was possibly looking at a rejection. And I wasn't sure about the timing, but I was kind of looking for something like that. See, bearish butterfly, but I was looking for something like that, or I was looking for something like that. If you remember, I was looking for a butterfly or a crab. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you because maybe some people don't believe me. They think I'm making this shit up. And when you're analyzing the charts, when you're trading, you have to come up with options because it's never going to do what you think. So you have to come up with ideas of what it could do. And then if it happens, then it gives you the confidence to decide about the trade and take the trade or not. So let me just go back to that last stream. According to this, it was 9 days ago. Don't want to mess up my upload. So if I start lagging, I'm going to have to cut it off. Oh my God, why are you lagging? See if I can find it. Oh God. That was the crab. See that? It's good to go back and have a look, huh? There you go. See that? If it stops lagging. Fuck. Why are you lagging? See, 9 days ago. And if this actually streams and isn't fuzzy, you'll see that I was looking at a butterfly there. You see that? I don't know why it's so fuzzy, huh? Anyway, you get the idea. So I don't need to prove anything to anyone, but I just wanted people to see that I am imagining the future, and that's how you can take trades. Yeah, when you can imagine the future. Now, timings are difficult because obviously it was a lot earlier than I potentially expected, but the level was correct. And in this type of situation, what you're looking for is some kind of failed auction or swing failure, which it did, didn't it? You can clearly see it. There was plenty of opportunity to enter a short there. I didn't plan a short. I was thinking maybe higher up, but it doesn't really matter because you're just looking at shapes and you're just planning based on where the price can go and reject. Yeah, so I could have done it earlier, lower down. It doesn't. That's why I drew it, and that's your trade, isn't it? Now, in this situation, you had a rejection from all-time high. It happened a little bit sooner, so let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at the timings. Oh, fuck. Look at that. It was a 1-to-1. See that? So from here to here to here to the rejection, you see that white line? That's the 1-to-1. So it's the same distance. From here to here to here is a 1-to-1. This is the same distance. You see that? That's a 1 and that's a 1. 1-to-1. And so actually I was thinking maybe it will come to the 1-to-1.618, but it didn't. It came to the 1-to-1. So the harmonic was correct. It was just that this was here, wasn't it? So it's the same harmonic. It's just a much sharper rise, and then it led to a much sharper descent. That's effectively what happened. So in hindsight is always 20/20. And actually in this circumstance, when it comes to trading, it's always the same. You risk your 0.5 to 1%, and you have an invalidation. In this situation, if you took the trade, your invalidation would be the high, and then you take profit, which is why you have that initial bounce, because people who took the trade will take their first profit, set to break even, and then the rest is a nice position. So that's kind of what I was looking at 9 days ago. So we don't have to look at that again. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to analyze the current price action and continue with the stream. So first thing I'm doing is going to have a look at the volume. Right. Let's have a look at these. Oh, I hope I don't lag. It's a bit laggy, isn't it? That's the local volume. Let's do the higher range volume. Okay, so we've done the volume now. What next? Sorry, I got an intermittent disconnect on my phone. This is really annoying. I apologize. I could see I was disconnected because TradingView kind of disconnected, but I think I'm back. If this happens a couple more times, I'm going to really have to speed up my stream because it's just really annoying for people watching. I apologize. So we slice through all of these points, naked points of control, all the way down to this lower one. Look at that. Went through the whole lot. So these are all cleared now. Get rid of them. Gonna have to redo them. And let's look at our higher time frame levels. So we had a little front run of this strong level down here, which is the weekly and daily level. And the rest are washed. You see all these levels are just cleared. Just going to clean them up. That one looks, this daily one looks like it's been held a little bit. So I'll hold that. I'll rename that to a washed daily. Just so that, because you can see it's tapped here and it's holding. And that's the wash daily too. Oops. Lots of wash levels. Okay, let me just kind of have a look at these levels again. If you draw out my levels. My weekly level. This weekly level's been washed. This one's okay. It's been front run. Look at the daily levels now. There's a daily level there. Another one there. This is from yesterday. This one is cleared. Let's just get rid of that now. I don't like it. Anyone, yeah, we got this one down here. All right, so we have our levels now. So these are liquidity levels based on the closes, the daily and weekly closes and monthly. If the price trades through that level once, it becomes a wash level. So it clears the liquidity and it doesn't react. It shouldn't react as it did before, but it can still react just because it's still a level that the price has reacted from. So you can see here on this wash daily, it didn't react when the price dropped, but as it comes back up, you can see there's a little bit of a reaction there. So that's a level that has to be flipped. If it wants to go up, it has to be flipped to go back up, just because you can see that there's a reaction. All right, we've got our levels. Let's have a look at the single prints. They've been cleared. All the single prints have been cleared on the way down. So effectively, I'm just going to delete them and get rid of that shit. And then what I'm going to have to do now is have a look at the order flow on XO charts. I can see that we're getting bearish divergence right now. So what that means is that the CVD is going up. You see how the CVD is going up? That's that yellow line. Delta represents market orders. Yeah, so you see you're getting lots of market buying. Market buying, market buying, but market buying, market buying. You can see the price is descending, so the price is being absorbed. So you've got large limit orders that are absorbing the market buying, and the price is going down, the CVD is going up. This is really bearish. This is really bearish. This is ultra bearish. This is incredibly bearish, especially because we're underneath the daily open. We're underneath the VWAP. It's really bearish right now on Bitcoin. So just bear that in mind. Not financial advice, but it's bearish. All right, let me just refresh this because I couldn't load my other tab. What I want to do now is just have a look at the single prints. And basically what I'm looking at is the single prints from the drop, from the big drop. You can see it here, just about. This is two single prints here that I'm going to mark them out in chat. Single prints. It's 117221 to 118481, and then you have 119452 to 120872. There's your two sets of single prints on the way down. And on the way up, we have this kind of this other set of single prints here. I'll mark that up. 112, 165, 2, 113, 232. Right. Those are your single prints. Please load. Please load. These are your naked points of control. So this is a naked daily point of control. We have two up here. You see these red lines. 124880. One two six one four zero. This is the weekly naked point of control. Oh my god, the lag is just off the charts. 124700. And let's have a look at the monthly again. No, it's not loading. Okay, forget that. There it is. The lag is incredible. So we have this big monthly naked point of control lower down at 104962. We haven't hit it yet. 104. I'd say 104. Well, I'd say 10500. Let's just have a look at that. Let's have a look at the session data. Nothing much there. Let's go back to the order flow one more time, just to see if this bearishness is continuing. It's bearish, but the price is moving up. There's a big short close here. You see that? The OI dropped minus 18 million. Some longs closed as well. Minus 11 million. So there's a big short close just there. This is a big long that entered. You see that? Let's go back to the charts and let's put in all of that data that we just collected. Let's hide that. What do we start with? The single prints. Let's start with the single prints. Please, no more lag. 17221. One 9452. Rodolph Munoz, hello. How are you? I'm just looking at Bitcoin at the moment, as you can see. 120872. Okay, there's your single prints. The ones underneath. One, 1, 2. 165. One, 113. Two, 3, 2. Okay. Fingerprints are done. Let's have a look. Oh, welcome to the stream. I've been lagging a lot, so if I disconnect, don't run away. I'm going to try and reconnect. I'm streaming off my phone at the moment. Really frustrating. I hope I have enough data. The next thing I want to look at is the points of control, the naked points of control. So we have naked daily point of control here at 124880. One, 2, 6, 140. Wow, right at the top there. Amazing. It's really bearish, huh? Naked weekly at 124700. And the monthly is all the way down here. Where is it? I think we've hit it actually. So I think that's a red herring. So let's just ignore that. Because we've already traded through that level. Put that down there. All right. So what we have now are our levels. We have our single prints. We have our volume. Higher time frame levels. We have our single prints. And we have our naked points of control. This is the liquidity at the moment. And let's have a look at the fibs as well. Let me just pull it in. So we've cleanly hit the 382. You see that? That was a clean hit of the 382 right there. With a little front run of this naked daily point of control and this weekly and daily level. So I would say that's quite strong support at the moment here. Because it's been front run. It is possible to go back down to test it. That's possible. The other thing that I'm seeing in the price action is a potential diamond forming. So you just have to bear that in mind. Don't know how it's going to look. I don't really like it. I don't really like these highs. Usually it's kind of more like a diamond. And in the context here, this would be bearish. If this is a diamond forming. Because if you are forming a diamond here, then the price will just kind of do this and then break down like that. For lower prices. So that would be bearish. But you can also have failed diamonds. Yeah, I'm not getting much of these levels because all of these levels are all over the place. And so it's going to get quite volatile and erratic. But I think we have really strong support down here at this 382. And it looks like we're putting in a higher low here. Potentially. Let's have a look at the candles. And last week's candle, even though it's really bearish, it's high volume and you had a massive liquidity grab and the price closed within the range. So we still have range bound price action. That's really what it is at the moment. It's very volatile and it's washed a lot of the liquidity. The price is still in the range. All right. So, I mean, I would actually consider that to be bullish, but at the same time, I wouldn't I don't think it's impossible for another test of these lows. I don't think that's impossible. Yeah. Now, if the price action, if we start putting some lower highs here, if the price goes up and starts putting some lower highs and starts doing that, then people are going to start seeing this time and they're going to start shorting it. That's when you can get a run. That's when you can get a bounce. And then that's when you can get a pump. You can get a fake diamond pump. Yeah. That's possible too. But I mean, this is clearly not going to work because of the timings. The timings don't work. So realistically, I mean, we'd have to be stuck here for months. See that December? Is that feasible? Look, see December 26. This is 2026. Is it feasible that we just get stuck here until the end of 2026 and then have a drop for a pump? It is possible, huh? Or you could be forming some kind of unusual channel here. I don't know. But what really messes this up is this drop. So at the moment, let's just focus on the drop. Let's forget about the rest. Local point of control. So we have a strong level here, which is the point of control, which corresponds with the top side of this golden pocket and some single prints here. See that? So right now, longing would be into resistance. And what you really want to see with the price action now is you want to see the price somehow flip that into support. And then you can have a long potentially there. That would be a sign of strength in this context. Just to flip that level, that area into support. Otherwise, what you're looking for is a pullback. Another test down here. Another drop. To fill this wick, maybe all the way down to the value area low again. And then once that happens, there's a chance to go up. How does that look? It's really harder. Who knows? No one really knows. It's all speculation, isn't it? But I think I'd like to see if the wick fills. And if it doesn't, then it's really bullish. And the only way to know is if we flip that point of control back into support. You see, the point of control here is acting as resistance. So if we can go up and flip it into support, then we could probably go up again for all-time highs. And then you're looking to just take the all-time highs again. And it kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders here, doesn't it? Look, 1, 2. Could we go up and smash through and go up to higher prices? Except it isn't, because we took out the lower shoulder here, so it really isn't. Technically it isn't. What else could it be? Could it, I mean, it kind of looks like I mean, what the fuck is that? A spaceship. Who knows? Bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's just crazy. I don't know. I think right now, I think a sign of strength in this context would be to reclaim this area. The point of control. That would be the first sign of strength that I would like to see in this context. Or I would like to see the price to go down and get a really nice reaction from the value area low. So wherever we put in a pivot now, let's just imagine it's here, going all the way down, we'll come back to the golden pocket. It could be slightly higher than the value area low because we have a high volume node there. Just wherever we put in a pivot now to come back to the golden pocket. If that's the pivot, it would be the high volume node. It's higher, yeah, probably around the high volume node. And if you get a reaction and there's a possible long there, that makes sense in this context because you're just coming back to test these previous support and you're coming to fill half of the wick, like 50% of that wick. And that's what I got. I don't have anything else right now, and you have to wait for the reaction. Maybe. I think we're just range bound and the price is just kind of going to be stuck here again. And if we get a sign of strength, you're looking for a reclaim. And then when you reclaim that, you're looking to take the all-time highs again. And a reclaim is basically the price going up, flipping this area into support. Then you have a tight invalidation. Something like that. When I look at the weekly candle, I really feel bullish. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel bearish. High volume. Let me just hide these now. Get rid of these. Really high volume sell. Cleared the liquidity from the lows here. I think that's a bullish candle. Look at that buying tail. It's a fucking gigantic buying tail. Bigger than the body. I really think that's a bullish weekly candle. With the volume in that sell, the sell pressure was intense. And look at where the price is. It's still range bound. The range is the previous week. So you've got a range bound candle with a liquidity grab from the lows of this area of interest down here. And we're still in the range. I really think this is a bullish candle, personally. Last week was bullish. It wasn't bearish. The bears were clearly in control. With the volume of selling, they weren't able to push the price lower or close lower. If the bears had more strength, they would have closed the price underneath the previous week low. They failed. So it's a failed bearish candle. So I kind of think if we go down, fill the wick and then go up, that makes sense. So I think this is bullish. I think last week was a bullish price action. And when I look at the monthly candle, we've cleared the liquidity from the highs. We've cleared the liquidity from the lows, from the last 3 months of lows. See that? Cleared, cleared, cleared. And we're just stuck in the range at the moment. We're still stuck. So nothing to tell from that. Let's have a look at the 3-month candle. Again, it's the same thing. We're just clearing liquidity. We're stuck in the range. So yeah, I'm just going based on the weekly. I think this is quite bullish, personally. It's a bullish candle. Now, what would make it bearish? And this is the thing, the price of this weekly, this next week, even if it closes down here, you're still going to get a buy up. It could still reverse. What you'd want for this to be bearish now is a close underneath the previous week low. If you get a close lower than the previous week low, then this would be ugly as fuck. Okay, so that's the only condition now where I think this would be really bearish. But anything else, even if you were to drop down and close here, the next week could reverse right up, and then it starts to look like a reversal in the wick. But ultimately, you still have to do what I said. We still have to flip the point of control back into support. It's really important. Yeah, that local point of control, the higher time frame point of control, at the moment that has to flip into support, or, and this is the caveat, and this is something that I'm looking for too, and I'll tell you, I'm looking for the point of control to flip to the lower part of the range, and I've talked about this in my streams as well. When you draw the volume of the range, we're in the range now, you can see at the moment that the point of control is here, but you have these high volume nodes. And if we can put in enough volume at these high volume nodes, more volume than the point of control, so there's a little bit more volume that we need to put in, then what you actually end up doing is you flip the point of control to the lower parts of the range, either there or there. These are the two best chances, here or here. And if that happens, that's extremely bullish. If we're able to bring the point of control to the lower part of the range. At the moment, the point of control is acting as some kind of resistance. If we're able to put in enough volume here so that the point of control flips to the lower part of this volume range, this value area, then actually this whole thing becomes really bullish again, extremely bullish. So I'm feeling bullish, but we're still range bound. And what I'd like to see is volume coming in, and effectively what that volume is are shorts entering at the lower part of this range and getting absorbed by large longs, enough to flip the point of control to the lower part of the range. If that happens, then those shorts will get trapped because they're shorting into a flipped into a support region, and then you get a squeeze up, and then this whole thing becomes really bullish again. All right, I'm feeling bullish, but let's just see what happens next. And that's basically Bitcoin. All right, any questions? No questions? All right, I'm going to move on. So let's have a look at QANX. Testing. Oh my. Another freeze. I think it's coming back. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry, there was a freeze. I got disconnected. Lucky I haven't started. Yeah, so fucking annoying, huh? Randolph, Panama City, piece of shit, huh? The internet here sucks. Oh, it's so annoying. All right, let's go into QANX before I lose connection. So that liquidation run on BTC had a massive impact on the whole crypto market, and so let's just put it into context. Yeah, when I look at the tokens that I look at SUI. Yeah, look at SUI. Look at that. SUI went all the way down to 0.56. Look at ENA, Athena. Okay, it went all the way down to 0.12. Look at that. Let's just put it all into context. All these tokens that I've been looking at. Look at PTB, 0.03. Solana, look at Solana. All the way down to $142. I can look at a lot of different tokens. Look at Mantle. It went all the way down, back down to $1.1. It was trading at $2.8. It went all the way down to 1.1. Cake. Look at Cake. It was trading at $4.5. It went all the way down to $1.5. Crazy, huh? So let's just look at the context. They don't kind of look at your token of choice and go, my token is shit. The whole market crashed, and it was a massive liquidation run on all these altcoins, right? And we can go through the whole lot. We can look at them if you want to. We can look at a whole bunch of tokens. Look at Slurf, which I don't really look at anymore, and it went all the way down to 0.044. Let's have a look at Dot. Look at Dot. Polkadot went down to 0.06. A massive liquidation run on all of these tokens. Look at Dogecoin. Look, Dogecoin went all the way down to just under 10 cents. Crazy, huh? How crazy is that? So let's not like look at QANX and go QANX is shit. Actually, no, QANX is doing okay. It's not doing bad, is it? And the reason why is because QANX isn't on derivatives. It's a spot. It's only on spot, so you don't get this kind of over leveraging, which causes these crazy drops. And so instead of going down 100% or 200%, whatever percent, not 100%, but 50% or 60% or 80%, you get like a slight pullback, a 14% pullback, and that's your dip, isn't it? That's your dip. When you get those pullbacks, that's your dip. We're hoping for the price to explode up, and what we want to see is a flip of this upper trend line. That's what we're hoping for, and that's what needs to happen. But when you see the market crash, those are your dips, those are your opportunities, and it's still, for me, it's still looking really bullish. It's not looking bearish at all. I'm looking at this, I'm not going, oh my god, this is going to zero. I'm just looking at these dips as an opportunities to accumulate more, right? So let's just have a look at all this shit. That's your crazy PA, huh? Fuck. We're still in that zone though, huh? We haven't lost it yet. Have we? I have another trend line here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Did I delete it? I keep on saying I'm going to clean my charts, and I never do. I've been so stressed about my internet connection that I haven't actually sat down and cleaned my charts. So effectively, there's this trend line here, isn't there, that we were talking about. We're somewhere there, and it's a messy one. It's not a clean one. Let's get rid of this crazy PA now. Kind of somewhere there, and when I do a volume pull, yeah, there's a high volume node there as well, isn't there? Shit. Let me add that. I just got a message from Claro. I've used 80% of my data. Shit, I better be quick. All right, I'm going to be quick now. Otherwise, I'm going to be disconnected or overcharged or something. All right, I'm going to be really fast. Super fast. This sucks, huh? That's really annoying. Oh my god, my charts. Right. We're not finding support on the point of control. That's what we have to do now. We have to find support on the point of control. That's really what needs to happen. There's no two ways about it. I think this drop was okay because the whole market crashed like crazy, and this is just another pullback in line with the market. We do need some volume here. Until we see volume, we're not going to get the price action that we want. All right. And this is going to be like, I'm looking at it. You see the price is dropping and kind of the volume is decreasing. So it's still corrective price action. This whole thing is a correction, and it still is a correction. Yeah. And right now we still have this higher low here, which was a liquidity grab of there based on the higher low from here. And unless we take out that low, this is still a higher low, and this whole thing is a correction, and that's all it is. Things could change if we drop there and take a liquidity, and then that's the question, what happens if that happens? But that would require Bitcoin to really start crashing. And if Bitcoin starts crashing and we somehow enter a bear market, then yeah, we're going to see this drop. There's no two ways about it, because a lot of people are waiting for the mainnet. That's why people aren't selling, because everyone is waiting for the mainnet. That's why people are accumulating, because everyone's waiting for the mainnet. If Bitcoin somehow enters some kind of crazy bear market, then the mainnet won't save QANX. It's just a fact. Yeah, you just have to, just one of those things where they pushed it, but they came too late. Yeah, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. I have no idea. I'm just saying that they really need to launch the mainnet like today, like ASAP. When Bitcoin is pumping, when Binance and everything else is pushing all-time highs, they really need to push the mainnet. It's just a fact. So let's just have a look at the QANX X page, 10th of October, IBM announcement. So there's lots of announcements here. What is that one? Quantum Mechanics just got a major shortcut shout out, October the 8th. So nothing about QANX, just about quantum stuff. Lots of quantum stuff. Nothing about QANX. Let's have a look at the weekly chart. I think it's good. I think it's nice. It's a nice candle. It's the same idea, isn't it? You have an increase in volume and you have a liquidity grab of the lows. You have a really strong buying tail. It's a bullish candle. It's a bullish candle because the bears are in control of that week. They push the price all the way down and it gets brought up right back into the range. It's a weekly swing failure. As long as this week doesn't close underneath the previous week low, then whatever happens, we could see a reversal here, some kind of structure forming here, and then we can get a move to the upside. That's, as far as I can tell right now, this is some kind of range bound price action. And I like that. I like these candles, these red swing failures. I really like them. These are the ones that I buy personally, especially when the volume increases and the price action is a swing failure of the lows and the price closes inside the range, and you can see a really strong buying tail. Yeah, I like those candles. We might not get a buy up immediately because you can see the 3-day candle is bearish. See, the weekly candle is bullish, but the 3-day candle is bearish. Why is the 3-day candle bearish? Because it's a green one. It's a market buy, whereas this weekly one is a market sell. So it's the inverse. It's like the 3-day candle, the bulls are in control, and it's a weak buy up. So this is, you get this kind of paradox where you've got lower time frames showing bearish, but you've got higher time frames showing bullish. And so what needs to happen now is this 3-day candle, this 3-day price action needs to play out. You need to, wherever this closes, it closes, and then you get the reversal. Does that make sense? Let's have a look at the daily. Again, with the daily, you've got this bullish engulfing. It's the same idea here. Look, you see how you had the reversal here. You had this candle close, couldn't close lower, and then you had the buy up. So you had the reversal inside the wick, and then you had the bullish explosion, the bullish engulfing. And now what we're doing is we've got the bullish engulfing, and we're getting now the pullback. So we have a really nice bullish candle. Right now we're finding a little bit of support there, but with these bullish candles, the price could go all the way back to where the bullish engulfing began, to the bottom of the bullish engulfing, to find support. It's very possible. And that's going to allow the 3-day candles to play out. But right now, the weekly candle, we're looking for a reversal in this wick. That's what we're looking for, a reversal, some kind of reversal in that wick. In the same way in this daily candle, you see we had a reversal in that wick. You see that? That's something similar. And as long as the weekly time frame candle doesn't close underneath this weekly low, I think we're good. I think we're good. That's kind of what I want to see next. Let's have a look at the higher time frame candles. I like this previous monthly candle. We've gone up and we've gone down. So obviously the price is looking for more liquidity. Now we're capturing the liquidity. So this is like people's chance to buy the dip. And this is their chance. It's the buy the dip opportunity. Again, not financial advice. And the best way to accumulate any token is to use some kind of time weighted average pricing strategy, dollar cost averaging in, especially with these tokens. There's no leverage here. There's no real trading. It's just accumulation. You can see it in the volume. It's all accumulation. Yeah. And when people sell, they accumulate. And then when you get these kind of liquidity grabs from the highs, people sell into that. And then what they do is when they sell, they start accumulating again. That's what they're doing. That's what everyone is doing here. Just in case you weren't sure what's going on, every time a high is taken, people sell into that, and then they start accumulating. They start dollar cost averaging back in. That's what's been happening with QANX for the whole period of time. And that's why we're getting higher lows, because the market is preventing the price from going lower. It's forming higher lows. And now we're in that stage again where you're going to get more accumulation, right? That's what it looks like. It's possible. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying it is possible. I marked it out before. I'm not saying it can't happen. I don't know. I have no idea. But when I did a crazy PA, if we lose this area of interest, we go down to test the value area low, and we go down to clear the liquidity from these lows. And if that happens, that's when you want to, that is the only place that I'm going to be expecting a crazy pump. Yeah, that if we don't get a crazy pump here, then we're in trouble. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. If we go down and we don't get a crazy pump here, and I want to see volume, you can see at the moment, I can't see the volume. If we take out these lows and we don't see the volume coming in here, then this token is actually in a little bit of trouble, right? But that's where I want to see. If we do go down, that's where I want to see it. Otherwise, I want to see us hold this area, flip it into support, just fail to go down, put in some higher lows, and then break out here on the point of control. We need the point of control to offer support now, right? So we're in this kind of really important area. We've cleared the liquidity in the first instance, and now we're trying to find support. We need the point of control to offer support, to show support. And if the market doesn't show support here, then we're going down. And then this is the opportunity to see if there's enough interest in this token for a crazy buy up, a market buy into the final dip. That's where you would expect it here, somewhere here, like a liquidity run of all these lows, down and up. And then you're looking for a down and right back up, and a pump, like something like that. Okay. And then that would be like a deviation. It would be a fake out. and then you'll be looking to do that, and then hopefully, who knows, whatever. So that's kind of QANX. I apologize for the stream, guys. I tried to do it on Friday. The internet was shit, and even now I've been having problems streaming off my phone. I'm gonna have to make this super fast because I'm running out of data. So that's kind of QANX. My next scheduled stream will be Friday. It will be from El Salvador, so hopefully I'll have better internet. I won't have any problems next time. But it is definitely a problem I have to fix for the long term as I'm staying out in this part of the world. And it's crazy because I was on Starlink, and Starlink is shit. So whatever. Elon Musk, you're an idiot. Except he's a rich idiot. So he's not an idiot. But I mean, at least he could have had a better internet. All right, so that's QANX. Any other questions? Rodolphe Munoz, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. Thank you all. If you like this video, share it, retweet it. I appreciate that. And then lastly, I'm going to have a look at TRVL. I'm going to have to be quick. I don't like to be quick with TRVL because I like to talk about TRVL a lot. But let me just kind of sum up TRVL briefly. Let's have a look at the charts. And so actually with TRVL, I'm going to go to Telegram. Okay. I think Telegram is really important because there's a lively conversation going on in Telegram, in the TRVL channel. I've been paying attention, as I always do. And there's a lot of conversation here. This is me trying to stream, failing to stream on Friday. Sorry. Drop frames, packet loss, you know, the same old story. Look, this is Starlink. Look at that. Look at Starlink. Download speed 254, upload speed 25 megabits, and I'm getting 65% packet loss. How crazy is that? So, and actually I had a really nice view. It could have been a really great stream watching Mother Nature in the background, and it didn't work out. I apologize for that. And hey, Jay is now here. This is where Jay comments. He's saying, I don't think TRVL will make all-time highs, though $2 plus. There's not the tokenomics or demand designed for that, I believe. Fair statement. I do think, however, we have been bottoming. I would go as far as believing it would maybe reach the lows of 0.02 cents or 2 cents, maybe a little higher. I don't think there's the right marketing for this to explode yet. Good comments. I would like to think it's a project that will do well in the next bull run with better regulations and understanding of tokenization of assets. I think crypto is setting up for a last and very volatile push before a global collapse, at which I would probably be looking at investing into the Chinese market and getting out of the American market sometime next year, maybe, or maybe silver. That's what I'm thinking, silver. Kitty Commie, longtime supporter of D-Travel, has said, I think what he meant with the videos is that the tokenomics is going to change radically. Isn't that the case? Beard Prince, that's me. However, what I'm more concerned about is how D-Travel will position itself with a possible collapse of the American economy, because it's definitely not looking good with how the Feds are tackling current policies. It seems another big wave of inflation is inevitable and will devalue the dollar a lot, hence hard to push crypto to a new cycle anytime soon. All right, so the conversation is going, and there's lots of conversations here. So here, Kitty Comic continues. Ironically, crypto became dependent of those traditional institutions. It always promised to fight against it, a paradox almost. Personally, the more I look at crypto, the less I see an industry. It's more like a circus, scam pumps, the hardest, unfortunately. Then I keep wondering, where does TRVL fit into all of this? Why TRVL? That's the best question ever. Why TRVL? That's the question I've been asking for years, literally. Would D-Travel work by just using USDT, USDC? Yes, it would. And it would, and it will, if it keeps being as it is now, a bookings discount given by D-Travel for using TRVL are far from being enough to involve a massive amount of customers. D-Travel needs an alternative way to approach the market so that it can offer something entirely new than just another booking platform. Yes, Kitty Commie, you just said it right there. Thank you. And Eric, so this is really important, guys. I really want you to pay attention to Eric. Eric is the CEO of D-Travel. He's the new CEO. I agree. That's why major changes are underway. Major changes on. So you heard it from the horse's mouth. I'm not calling him a horse. I call myself the horse. He's the CEO. But you heard it from the horse's mouth. Major changes are underway. I've been talking about major changes. It's not just me saying it. This is the CEO of D-Travel saying that major changes are underway. This is a scam post, so just ignore it. Thank you, Ferry. And Jay is interluding. He's saying, what is the all-time high? Does anybody really know? I reply 1.56. And then Jay is asking, hi, Eric. Can we expect these changes within the next 3 to 9 weeks? I believe these changes may be good for the project and bad timing towards the end of the bull market for investors. And so Jay makes a valid point. He's assuming that the end of the bull market is within 3 to 9 weeks. That's what I'm getting. And then also he says that looking at the TRVL charts, he has 0.78 as the all-time high. 1.56 doesn't look like the real highs, but a token launch pump and dump. And then he says the monthly chart TRVL is looking good. And here Andrea, lovely Andrea, who's in Dubai, going to Spain soon, says big updates are on the way. So she's the community manager at D-Travel. She says big updates are on the way. We're preparing everything on the logistics, market research, tech sides to develop and offer you even more features beyond what's currently available. D-Travel will go further than just bookings and listings. We've been reviewing your ideas as well as to help shape a clearer vision of what's coming in the next few months. Stay tuned here with her. She'll share more details as soon as she can. So everyone love that post if you haven't done that already. Daniel's asking a question. I think Andrea answers that. Kitty's saying we passed the market top. The liquidation event, well, I don't know about that. So anyway, look. Here I kind of make some comments. So really, my biggest comment here is this fib. These fibs. And I'm going to kind of, and here I'm not going to go through this, but the conversation continues a little bit about the marketing. Let me go back to the charts. And this is what I'm looking at. I just want people to see what I'm seeing, right? 1.56 is the all-time high. And the all-time low is this pivot low put in April 25. So I've drawn a fib from the all-time high, the registered all-time high, according to CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, all the way down to the all-time low. And what you have are these fib levels. And the 236 actually corresponds with the previous all-time low. You see that? The 382 corresponds with some kind of higher time frame SR flip at 4.5 cents. And you can see it because here, support, resistance, resistance, a little bit of support here. That was just a wash. And then the wash took us to the 50 fib. The 50 fib, as I've been talking on my streams for a long time, 2 years, is 9 cents. 9 cents was the launch price on the exchanges, and that's been acting as a strong SR flip ever since. See that? So 9 cents comes to the 50 fib. And then when you're looking at the charts, we're clearly seeing that the golden pocket acted as resistance. Even though it didn't exist, it was acting as resistance. And even the 786 acted as resistance. And so when you're looking at the fib levels, you're looking at the 50 fib. I'm looking at the fibs from all-time highs to all-time lows. I'm seeing that they're playing a role in the price moving in and around this overall range. And that's how I'm getting a little bit of lag. That's how I'm viewing it. I'll wait for the stream to come back up. Does it say I'm getting packet loss? Okay, there it is. It's back. So that's kind of why I'm looking at that level. Now, in Telegram, Jay was suggesting that the all-time high that he's viewing is 0.78. So let me just kind of contemplate his ideas. let's hide this for a second. 0.78. Possible, yeah. It's also possible. It's tricky because if it's 0.78, then the 50 fib is that previous all-time level. But the rest of the fibs aren't really, I mean, maybe the 786 is lining up. There is a little bit of an alignment. It's just this 236 is a bit odd. And the 382 hasn't hit yet. You can have fibs within fibs. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, is that the all-time high? No, I don't think so, actually. Sorry. Because you've got a range here. So if you're going to have an all-time high, then surely that should be all-time high. Because of the price action. You put in volume, haven't you? Look, we were trading above that level for 4 or 5 weeks, and that was above his 7.8 level. It went all the way to 1.11 cents, and we were above his level. We were at 9 cents for like 4 weeks here. So why would it be 7.8? Why would it not be 9 cents? Am I right? Wait, let me just go back to his. Sorry, 78. Okay, my bad. My mistake. Apologies. Let me just do that again. So I've clearly made a mistake. Sorry, Jay. All right, that makes more sense. So he's saying it's up to there. All right, so that's where he's saying it. All right, that makes a lot more sense. Sorry, I totally confused it. So he's saying 78 cents. So he's saying on my chart, that's the all-time high. And that's basically the QCoin launch. That's the all-time high, and it's basically dumped since then. And I can't tell. I'm not sure. I don't think so. This 236 doesn't, for me, this 236 doesn't line up right, because it lines up at 0.016. And when I did my one, this made a lot more sense because the 236 came in at the previous all-time low. The fibs lined up. So I still think it's 1.56, but it's food for thought, isn't it? It's because the 50 fib now would act as the value area high of this previous range. But as I've already said in the past, if we get back above the previous all-time low and flip it as support, then this whole thing is bullish, because that's deviation. That's back into the range. If we consolidate here, then we have a chance to go up, right? Technically, that's possible. If we do that and then lose it again, then we're in trouble again. You don't want to get back into the range and lose the range. What you want to do is get back into the range and hold the range as support, just exactly how we did before. Yeah. So whatever happens, we have to get back into the range, and then we have to flip the previous range low, which is the previous all-time low, into support. It's really important that that happens. So effectively, when we do push up, if we can get back into the range, I don't know how high we can get back up. Jay seems to think that we're gonna get rejected at 2 cents possibly, or maybe a little bit higher at 2.2 where this previous point of control was, and it could happen, but let's just say it doesn't and we do manage to go up higher, then you're going to get a big take profit somewhere around 3 to 4 cents. And then what we need people to buy back in. Yeah, that's really important. The only way people are going to buy back in is after the changes to the tokenomics happen. And this is what Eric is saying. That's why major changes are underway. I've been talking about the changes. The changes are to do with tokenomics, primarily tokenomics, but other changes are happening too. The organization, the DAO, everything's changing. Everything's changing. Yeah. The direction is completely changing. The leadership has changed. The CEO has changed. They've accepted and understood that in the past, there have been systematic failures in the way the TRVL and DTRVL has responded to the market, not understanding what people want or what people need. And while Kitty Komi is talking about, oh shit, I've consumed 100% of the data, I'm going to have to quit this stream. While Kitty Komi is talking about being another booking site, this is not going to be another booking site, Kitty Komi. With the new tokenomics, it's going to be so much more, but I can't really go into depth now because my internet's literally running out. And so this is my short, extremely short TRVL update. Next one is going to be on Friday. I'm literally run out of data streaming off my phone, so I'm going to have to get off. But I'll be back on Friday, and hopefully I'll do a more in-depth stream. The other big news is that Eric is coming to El Salvador tomorrow, and so he's coming with his family. He's coming to see me. And if you don't know Eric, this is Eric. Eric is the CEO of DTRVL. He's coming to El Salvador. I'm going back to El Salvador tomorrow. He's going to be in El Salvador. We're going to be hanging out for 10 days in El Salvador together. So that's the big news, if you don't know that already. Big things are happening here. And my next stream is going to be on Friday. And I'm going to kind of spend a little bit more time and go into depth on maybe some of the changes. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see you on Friday. I have to go now because my data has run out. Bye.